world of the mainstream media, we've told you before, haven't we, how it's very difficult when you consider how people decide to portray you, particularly if you're in the public eye. They can make you out to be the world's best thing, the most loved thing, a national treasure. But then if they decide that they don't wish you to become a national treasure, they can keep hammering away until, of course, they make the public decide that in fact you're seemingly a baddie. Now, it's interesting to take this particular story, which has emerged over the last couple of days. There is an MP over here in the United Kingdom, a Conservative MP up in the north of England called Lee Anderson. Recently, he was berated online simply for stating that, in fact, you could make a meal for 30 pence. That's right. And this was because he'd been seen visiting food banks in his constituency and helping out. Now, as I say, he was treated incredibly unfairly online. But the bottom line is this. Earlier this week, there was a story from a food blogger and activist and one-time Labour supporter, Jack Monroe. Now, Jack Monroe has made something of a career, shall we say, out of being rather controversial. She started off being a food blogger, basically sharing recipes online, which was all very commendable about how you could survive on, pennies. But let's not forget, this is a person who's released a number of books, appeared on television programs, and some might say, and as ever we have to say allegedly, rather comfortably off. But on this recent recipe, which she shared for 11 pence to make a particular little dip for bread rolls and stuff like that, she told on this particular vlog exactly how easy it was to make it for 11 pence, claiming, look, it's not a meal, but at least you won't go hungry. As I say, looks delicious, very commendable. And then underneath this particular post, she pointed out that in fact her computer had broken down and she was looking for ways to try and salvage that and pay for it. So if anybody wanted to donate to the cost of that, there was a link, etc. Those sort of things where you can pay to assist in the running of the channel. As you know, I don't believe in them. But anyway, the story then evolved, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because as I say, she was praised widely in the mainstream media. Everybody thought this was marvellous, that she was doing her bit, of course, to help keep the nation afloat by offering, affordable and nutritious recipes, while Lee Anderson, the MP, was blasted for doing the similar thing. The difference is, though, that Mr. Anderson does undertake outside extracurricular work, sometimes agreeing to write guest columns in mainstream media newspapers. Recently, he was paid £1,000 for a said column. He instantly donated that to his local food bank to make sure that they had the provisions required. That wasn't reported. Do you see what I mean? So once again, when you look at the mainstream media, always make sure to peel back, take a deeper look, because as I say, while both are doing commendable work in one way or another, some might say one is being a little bit more honest than the other. And the bottom line is, surely in this world of food banks, cost of living crisis, and of course a brand new year, wouldn't it be better if the mainstream media simply united and praised both in unison? As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.